Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sharilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting right now, only on Stunner Radio, the heart and soul of the culture.
Hey, friend. How are you?
I'm not used to you being next to me. I keep doing this, looking for you.
I know. I love your haircut.
Thank you. Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Well, you always look beautiful, but thank you so much.
Oh, I know you was trying to, last time you was talking about you was going to get sexy like Lisa's voice. Yeah, so you did that. Yeah, you did it. It did it. So listen, we're going to have a phenomenal show tonight.
You know what? We're talking about marriage.
Yes.
What you know about marriage?
I just know a very little bit.
So we're going to be educated.
I am going to be most educated.
Okay. We're going to get some education. Yeah, okay. Some good information and some good education.
Good education. I truly need it. Let me just say that.
Okay. Some good laughs as usual. Some good fun.
Yes.
Good conversation.
Yes. Okay. So let's bring on our guest.
Yeah. I'm excited.
We have to put there they go, right there.
There they go.
So that is Jason and Rhonda Turner. So Sharilyn, why do we have him and her? What's really going on? So because it only takes one, right, to tell us about marriage, or it takes both.
It takes both. It takes both. Because we're going to hear from a man's perspective, a woman's perspective, and a professional perspective.
Oh, I'll be the professional.
No,
not me. Okay, so listen. Not yet. My day is coming. My day will come. All right, so it's coming. So, but Rhonda, Jason, or it's the other way around. Jason and Rhonda, please tell our viewers a little about yourself so we can get this party started. All right.
Well, hello, everyone. Of course, I'm Jason Turner. I'm the husband of this Rhonda and Jason duo. We're glad to be here with you guys tonight. It's a pleasure to see Miss Scott once again. It's been a long time. I want to just thank everybody for just allowing us to be here tonight. And it's just a pleasure.
All right then.
So I will go on a little bit deeper.
I know you will, honey.
Of course, I am that Rhonda Turner. I call my husband today. I say Jason Turner, and he loves to say Rhonda Turner back to me to make sure I know that I'm the wife. But April will be married 25 years.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! And Rhonda, you know what? With saying that, when our church introduced the couples who've been married, those years and years and years, you know what Cheryl and I be saying, or is it just me? I be saying, no, I can't even get a boyfriend for 25 minutes, and they got 25 years. So help me, please. Listen.
I just reach over there and hold her hand.
Listen. But we know stories of 25 years is nothing. I know. There's some stories out there 60, 70 years. When we honor couples, you'll be like, wow, that is amazing. So we're happy to be at the 25 years because, at the beginning, people think it's all number. But sometimes it'd be like, we want to fight. But
just keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Listen, it's not, everybody think that it's easy. There's no perfect marriage. None. It's work.
See, I think that's what I didn't have the time for. I did the 8 to 5. I got to come on, still work again. Rhonda, come on, help a sister. Now, I was married for a long time, but he was praying every day.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was praying every day, and I understood. I said, "I'm gonna say amen with you." But on the real side of it, let me just say, congratulations on being married 25 years, because nowadays, and I have I think 2 sisters. One has been, I think Charlene's been married like 40 plus years. And then Arisi got like 30 plus years. And I'm the oldest and I have no years. So
And let me say that, Linda.
I had some.
With
And then,
that being said, seeing them, they all still look so happy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
They
They're
do.
very happy. They're
They
very,
do.
very happy. And they are so, when you see them, you can tell they are so in love, and you can see that love. It generates from the inside out. You can actually see the love they have for one another. Sometimes I just be wanting to touch them, see if some will rub off.
I want to rub it off on me. So, but Rhonda, I know mine's coming one of these days, and I'm just anyway. So Lord help me. But Rhonda, let me just ask you, or should I ask Jason, what would we have to do today? And when I say today, I'm saying 2023 to help us to get to where you are at some point. You know, what do we do? And I know it has to be communication. Now I know that part first. But what do you think, Jason, coming from a woman, well, just help me, Jason. What do I have to do to get to where you guys are?
Well, one perspective is I think you have to practice patience. Patience is a big part of longevity. If you don't have any patience, it's going to be hard to get to that stage because it's not going to always be fair for you. It's not going to always go the way you always want it to go. It's going to be many times where you're going to get the 10 and she's going to get the 90 or vice versa. And it's going to look kind of funny to you because you're like, listen, she winning over there. I'm over here suffering all this and she winning or he winning. And I'm, like you said, I'm coming home from this 8, 9 to 5 and I got to do more work to you. You think, well, you sitting on the couch, but it eventually levels out. It actually does. It actually evens out. But I tell women all the time, especially at the beginning when you're starting a relationship,
right?
Your patience is your greatest virtue for me, because as you allow us to grow and formulate into who we're going to be, it's going to take your patience because we're going to screw up. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a perfect ship. We're going to make some mistakes. We're going to screw up. And you're saying we as men, right? Yeah. Yes, Lord. We're going, it's in us. We're going to do what we do. We have a tendency to every now and then, we fall off the wagon. But your patience and your understanding and your loving us allow us to look over and say, listen, this is real. Right. I tell people all the time, my wife loved me when she didn't have to. She couldn't walk away when, I was doing some of the things that we said that we did and I did and, the path I was on. But because she loved me through it, I tell people I'm a product of work. This didn't just happen. It didn't happen overnight. Yeah. No, right. That's amazing. One of our said, well, what did he say? He said, well done. Well done. Said. Well said. Well said. Okay. I have a question. I have a question. We're facing some hard times right now. Right. I mean, eggs cost $50. I mean, right. We're just really having some hard times. Money is not right. People are out of work, unemployed. How do couples work through that? The things that's totally out of their control. They have no control over that. Right. But they're frustrated, and they're bringing that frustration home. How do you get through that? We still get through it. Still get through it. Okay. But go ahead. I laugh at it because I'm one of those people that just you got to live. So you just do what you have to do. I don't allow it to move me. Now my wife, on the other hand, she can be looking at me. I can't believe I just sit there and look like, okay, after you said all that, we still have to go to the store. You still going to buy those eggs. You still got to buy that milk. You got these kids to feed. So guess what we're going to have to do? Just have to buckle down and make a way. And us as the people, as Black folks, we've always learned how to make a way. It's in us. Right. Right. So as a couple, I have a great advantage because my parents have been together I'm 50 and they've been together my whole life. So, they got 50 plus years in. Right. And they just always made it work. So
that is a good example of how we should mirror ourselves after our parents, because they have gone through and they're constantly saying, hey, this is what you have to do. Well, your dad, man, this is how you're supposed to take care of your home. And then we as women, we have that nourishing, okay, so we got to get this right here. And this costs a lot of money. So we got to put this over. We the one thinking, but y'all, it appears that the opposite attracts. And that would be for me, because I would need to have him to be very calm. And because I'm going to be crazy. Babe, we can't afford this right now. And he's just going to do just what Jason said. Okay, you finished. But we still got to go get it. So again, it comes back from the parenting saying, hey, we're going to work this thing out. It does take the patience, Jason. I pray he have patience. And that's what I'm saying. I pray he has patience, and I am mature enough to say, baby, let's talk about where we're going. Even though these eggs are $50 a dozen, do we want to break it and get a half a dozen? So this marriage thing is for what I hear as of today, is everybody want everything to happen so smoothly. We don't want no hiccups. We want it all to happen, and we'll make it work tomorrow. But there's no plans for it. There is no patience, Jason. I haven't seen the younger generation. I'm saying the younger generations. Our peers, if we're together now, we there. We're staying. There ain't no need of going nowhere. COVID showed us a lot of things. So go sit down over there, read a book. This is where we are, right now. So I commend you for saying the patient thing. I need that. And I know there's other people out there who need it too. So y'all don't make me look like I'm the only one. Say that too. But when we start talking about who's in charge, how does that work? Who is in charge? The husband or the wife? Who?
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah, and why does someone have to be in charge?
In charge, yeah.
Yeah, why does someone have to be in charge? Because I think once you're married, you become one. So no one has to be in charge. You both decide together.
And that's why I say it depends on the situation. Yeah, what I'm going to be in charge of, and what he's going to. I'm going to let him be in charge of what he's going to let me be in charge.
What you going to let him be in charge of?
But he's going to let her be in charge.
And what he's going to let me be in charge.
Absolutely.
I put it to you, ladies, like this.
Tell it.
As I stand here as a man, I'm always in charge. Because I'm the head of my household. So I'm always in charge.
Y'all heard it.
Now, as we move towards certain things and certain decisions, I understand her mindset, her decision making, and certain things are better than mine. So I relinquish those things. I relinquish those things as hey, give me a better insight, so I would know what's going on, so I have an idea of what's happening. But I tell any married, especially a young man, women have a funny way about things. They always can figure out a way to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, until it don't work. As soon as it don't work, you know what she gonna look at you and say, "How we gonna fix this?
How we
gonna fix it? Then
how we gonna fix it?
What you gonna do? I done made this problem because you sat here and let me do it. You didn't say no. You didn't stop me. You just let me do it anyway. So as the head of this household, as the lead, how you gonna fix this? So sometimes, like I tell my wife all the time, my no's aren't because I don't want her to have it. My no's are because I'm responsible for us all, not just me, not just you. So when I say no, it ain't because I don't want you to have what you want or are able to do what you need to do. It's because I see the bigger picture and I understand that if we go down this path, this rabbit hole, I know in a few months you're gonna look at me and say, How we
Get
gonna
us
fix
out the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Okay,
you there on
so
that.
I think marriages needs to be celebrated openly. When I was coming up, my mom and dad had been married many years, but every family on my street, in my neighborhood, had a father and a mother in the home who had been married a long time. And I think our generation, the younger generation, they don't see that. They're not seeing as much of that and that's
we
what
do.
I grew up with. But
Right.
I don't think they see that. And I think marriages need to be celebrated more. They need to be out in the front where our younger people can see it. And I say all the time, I do have a daycare center, but every one of my mothers is a single mother with no man in the household. And that's not how it should be. Not how it should be. And some of them have little boys. These little boys need a man in their life, and
You're right.
the parents need to talk about marriage. What I'm doing is the best I can do right now. But because one little girl told me, I'm not going to ever get married. I don't need a husband because my mama don't have one. And I had to pull her mom to the side and tell her, this is what you're teaching your daughter.
child.
And it's not biblical. It's not that she's learning. It's not biblical. I want her to be financially stable and be able to take care of herself. But we need to teach her some other stuff too. We need to, and kids learn by example, what they see.
Right. And they do. I actually, on the other side of that as well, Sharilyn, well, it was my choice to have children with no dads. And don't ask me how that came about, but because I had a mom and a dad in my house. I was raised with them, and I got a godmother and a godfather together, and my sister them have a godfather and mother. So we had that, but for some reason in my head, I did not want the daddy. I just wanted the sperm.
But Linda, your children had a daddy.
They had a daddy.
They weren't with you, but your children had a daddy.
They had a daddy. So in that being said, I didn't want him to be in the house with me. I only wanted the kids. I only wanted the kids. I didn't want daddy. I didn't want him to be present with me every single day, all day. Rhonda looking at the same face every single day. I mean, I'm being real.
She's being real.
I did not want that at all. So that's what when I had my son, my last boy, the last one, and that was my first son, and I think I told the story about I was playing softball. It was my time to bat, and then he had to go to the restroom. I was playing co-ed ball, so I said to the guy, "My son got to go to the restroom. Take him to the restroom for me, please." They did. And then when they took him to the restroom, what did he do? He went to sit on the commode. That for me was a woman's move. That's all I knew. So when the guy came out and he brought me my child, he cussed me up one side and came down the other side. And I was like, what did I do? How are you teaching him how to sit on the commode? That's all I know.
What you know.
So I taught him what I know. I didn't know how to teach him how to do other things. I didn't have a man. I didn't know how important that was until it happened. So we get into these having the kids. Do we want to have a daddy? Do we want to have a husband? Do we want the family thing? So now with the younger kids, like Sharilyn just said, everybody, you guys have to be out front.
Yeah. And that's something that we're trying to do. This is, we're trying to show, especially Black love, because it's broken a lot in our communities. I'll go back to what you said when you said looking at a man every day. When I was young, this lady just like my godmother, and she was like, "Oh, you fast and hot, and you're gonna get tired of looking at that same, you're gonna get tired of that man wanting to get it every day," right? So, and seeing him every day, and I was like, "Oh, the older you got, you understood what she meant."
Yeah.
But regardless, it took us to work on who we are together. You know, I could be with my husband all day, every day. That's what I told you. You know, when you used to say, "Well, Rhonda, you going home?" Yeah, I'm going home. Going home to my mom. So I don't have those that kind of issues. And the other thing is, I think what we don't realize is everything is so fast now. Yeah. So how people move is fast.
Yeah.
When we were able to go out and play hopscotch and jump rope and all of that, these kids are home learning from social media.
Correct.
They're not learning life skills or anything else. They're learning how to somebody to teach them through Facebook, or I'll say the kids, Instagram, and all of that. Yeah. We have to get back to teaching our kids. You know, most of our culture, they work 2 and 3 jobs just trying to survive.
Yes.
So who's there teaching?
We had a viewer on for 2 weeks, and I'm surprised he's not on here tonight. For 2 weeks, he asked the question to our guests: who is teaching these young ladies to be a wife? And he asked that for 2 weeks straight. Who's teaching these young ladies how to be a wife? And our answer to him both weeks was, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know.
But you know, the problem I have with it is, and I'm a big proponent of this. I hear you ladies talking about these things, but I think the men have to take the lead and the point on these situations. I just heard Ms. Fisher saying, even you, Linda, when you went within your community, the men set the standard.
Yeah.
You know, mom made sure that she stepped out the house a certain way. She carried herself a certain way because she didn't want dad to look at her or be in a way, you know, about her in the way she moved. The men gave the approval of how these things should work and how they move. Like I tell men all the time, you talk about these ladies and tell them this and that and other, but you don't tell them how you would like for them to be. You take advantage of them when they don't have clothes on, or you take advantage of them when they're promiscuous. You take advantage of these things until they don't work for you. Now they don't work for you. Now you want to talk about it. Now you want to belittle them. You want to put them out there. So why don't you sit there and tell her she's beautiful when she has a nice dress on instead of some hoochie clothes on? Why don't you show her attention when she's standing proper and carrying herself like a lady instead of being, how they say, thottish and whatever? Because it seems like the ones that act little sexiest gets all the attention.
Yeah.
So I tell men all the time, it's about your place. The Bible speaks of place a lot. And even in the garden, Adam had a place. When he got out of place, everything fell out of order because he didn't have a place. So when you look at these things and what you're saying, even you, Linda, you saying you didn't necessarily want a man in the home, but I guarantee you took a lot of cues from dad. Your dad played a lot about your self-esteem. He played a lot into how you thought about how men should treat you, how a man should look at you, how a man should carry himself. You know, when you saw another dude come up, you look at him and say, he ain't my daddy, because my daddy wouldn't do that. He wouldn't talk to me that way. Now, you know, he ain't going to be daddy, but at the same time, you had a standard. You had something to go by. So if the men within our communities took their places and told these young ladies, put them to the side and say, listen, this is how this should be. This is what attracts me to a lady. Yeah, I may want to lay with you because you look that way, but I'm not going to marry you because you know, I may want to spend time with you that way, but I'm not going to bring you home to mama because you look that way.
Wow.
You know, so as the men continue to stand up and take their rightful places, hey, it's going to be hard. These women are by themselves because they allow it in the case. In a lot of sense. You know, I'm going to let you come into my home. I'm going to allow you to do what you want to me. I'm going to get impregnated from you, and I'm going to leave. I'm going to let you leave.
Wow.
Because they say this thing, I don't need a man. Well, yes, you do.
Oh yeah, nah, I ain't gonna look. I ain't going that far.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do need a man.
No, that's right. I ain't going that far.
You know, Jason, I have been guilty. I have been guilty for many years saying that I didn't need a man. But then as I got closer to my biblical teaching, then I was going like, yes, Sharilyn, you do. Because you should not be leading your household. You should not be And there's certain things that a man can do that I can't do, that I just can't do. So I don't say I don't need one. I don't say I don't need one anymore. I say I don't want one, but
That's the difference.
when God did that for me to have one, He would
difference.
change that want. He would change all of that. He changed that me from stop saying I didn't need one.
Right.
So when He get ready, then it'll be I want one.
And He's the one that will be able to do it.
Yeah, He'll send the one that He wants me to have. He'll send the one that, my sister used to say, and I used to laugh at her. My sister used to say that she wanted the man that God created for her while he was still in his mother's womb. And I was going like, girl, you crazy. But she waited. She waited. And she didn't take second best, and she just waited. And a whole lot of great guys came along, and she says, that's not who God created for me while he was still in his mother's womb. And I was going to ask her, well, how in the hell do you know? How do you know?
You weren't there.
That's right.
She said that when he comes, then the Holy Spirit was going to tell her that was him. And she married this guy. They've been married a long time. And I think that's who God wanted for her. Beautiful couple now. They've been married about 15 years now. So beautiful couple. So I think so.
Okay. So wait, let me say that now. God going to send me the man, the bird
because that's who she prayed for. That's what she prayed for. She prayed that God send her the man that God created for her while this man was still in his mama's womb.
Okay.
That's what she prayed for. She wanted the man God created for her, specifically created for her. And you know my sister, she had somebody mighty special. Mighty special. Because she's special. But I am so happy for her. I am so happy for her that God gave her her wish.
Well, I'm mirroring myself after Charlene and her husband, Arisi and her husband, and Rhonda and Jason. And Jason, I always thought you were everything. I may not have said it, but I always thought you were the right one for Rhonda. I see still now that the glow that she has when they talk about you. When I've tried to say, Rhonda, come on, let's go. No, girl, I'm going to my arms. And that would always be, I'm going to my arms. I got something waiting for me. Well, okay. Now, one of these days, I keep saying that I'm going to have my own arms, and he too going to get in the car and come to Miami and pick me up and bring me back over that. But all joking aside, that's the want that I want. I want a man who's gonna, as I said, he has to be calm. He got to be the calm one, and who's gonna hear and talk to me. And I normally would say to men and Sharilyn, oh, he's not gonna last. He talk too much. I can't do you. You talk too much. And I'm waiting for him who talk a little bit, not too much, but enough. And yet and still, I want to have a conversation with him about us. I'm waiting on him. And I know he's out there. I'm waiting on him to do those things.
Well, a part of it though, Linda, when we talk about relationships and men and things, you have to remember in the courtship process, we're still teaching that man how to love you. You're still teaching him how you want to be treated. He's not going to come in already fixed it. You know, he may have some good tricks and some things, but he's going to still need to learn how to love Linda, how to talk to Linda, how to hold her hand, how to hold her, how to love on her when she wants to be held, and all those things.
He is so crazy.
You're teaching those things. So, and vice versa. He's teaching you as well. and you have to be open to receive these things and know that, okay, I know he likes this, but he doesn't like that. I know she likes when I touch her this way, but she doesn't like if I grab her that way. And it's a give and take to the point where it's almost like that perfect dance.
Okay,
we have to go to commercial.
Right, we have to take a commercial break.
We have a question from JD that we're going to answer after the commercial, and then I have a question for you two about a marriage counseling. So we'll be right back in just a minute.
If you're looking for custom handcrafted fashion jewelry that makes a statement, look no further than Linda S. Jewelry, 1426. We specialize in quality pieces fit for any occasion. Follow us on Facebook at Linda S. Jewelry 1426 to view our inventory or to make a purchase. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Hey, welcome. See you in the few. That was quick.
Real bad.
So go ahead with your question from JD, Sharilyn.
So he says, do women over 45 who have been married want to do so again? Well, that I think depends on the particular woman. What do you think, Rhonda?
Well, I'm over 45, and I'll say in my time, yes, I want to get married again. I know I stated when I turn 90, I'll get married again, but I do. I said 90, Rhonda. I'm taking it back. I want to do it before 90.
What y'all gonna do? Just change Pampers?
Rhonda, that's a good one.
I mean, I want to be able to walk, enjoy, travel.
But to answer JD's question, yes, women or some women over 45 wants to remarry again, but again, it's that education that we have to communicate, and as Jason said, be patient with one another. But he has to come in communicating right off. I need to know, what does he want to do? He needs to know what I want to do. So, but the answer is yes for me.
And I'm over 45. I would like to get married again. But the thing with me is I adopted my daughter and she's 15. So you have to be real, real careful.
Very.
I just can't bring any and everybody over my child. That's right. And a lot of people ask me, Sharilyn, why aren't you married? And this is the thing for me. I'm 66. I'm not a cougar, so I'm not going to date anybody young. But most people our age, most men our age at 66 have grandchildren or great-grandchildren her age. And they've raised their children, and they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to go back to raise another child. And I don't need nobody to raise her. She has two daddies already. She has her
biological father.
She calls him her real daddy, the one who adopted her. She said that's her real daddy, and she has a biological daddy, so she doesn't need one. And I'm not looking for a daddy for her. So that's why and then by the time she get out of my house, I'm gonna be too old to marry anybody. Because she says she's never leaving. So, she says she's never leaving. So, you know,
that's what she say.
Yeah, that's life. That's what it is.
Yeah. I would say, I deal with a lot of women in different organizations, and there's a lot of single women out there.
Yes, there are.
And it's a lot of women that states they're looking for the right one.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you, JD, yes, some of my closest friends are not married, and they're looking for the right one.
Right.
Now, some of them I telling now, you got to get some mess out the way before God goes see.
Right.
And he's not gonna come knocking on your door.
Right.
You got to let him know you're available. And I'm not saying run out to these clubs and run out to these different places, but he's not gonna come knock on your door because he don't know you in there.
Yeah.
You got to let him know that you're available.
Let me ask Jason. Jason, let me ask you this question. When we say we're looking for the right one, what do you think that is? How would you answer that to me saying to you, hey, you saying, hey, I'm interested in you, but I'm waiting on the right one? What would you say to that?
Well, I would have to know what your standards are. You have to have I'm quite sure you have a list of standards of things that you would accept, what you wouldn't accept, what you would like in a man, what you don't like in a man. It would be nice to be able to know, okay, these are the things I'm looking for. Now, you may have a checklist of 10. If I hit 7 out of 10, I think you're doing pretty good if the other 3 aren't just outright, deal breakers.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
And talk, like you say, have a conversation. Allow him to show you who he is before you dismiss him on what you think he is. So I gotta tell you, if my wife would have bought on who she thought I was, developing who I am now, we wouldn't be together.
Wow. Okay.
So that's where that patience comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that time comes in. And allow a gentleman, if, like I said, if he hits quite a few of those points, allow him to show you who he is. But I know you have some deal breakers, certain things are like you say, you're a pedophile, Miss Fisher don't want you around her child. That's a
right. Right.
I mean, certain things that are deal breakers, but I hear a lot of women say, I want Mr. Right, and he could be standing right in front of it because he look like the 6'2" Adonis. He ain't the right one.
He ain't the right one. You got to look past all that and look at his heart.
He might be the perfect one.
His character.
Yeah. Right. He might love you beyond anything you can ever know, but you'll never know it because, he ain't, 6'2", dark and chocolate and chiseled. Idris Elba,
Well, I have a question that came from one of my friends who could not do the show tonight. She's working in the hospital, and she's been married for quite some time. And she and her husband decided they were having some pitfalls, and they decided to go to marriage counseling. And she wanted to know, how would you two handle it if they go to marriage counseling and one party is not telling the complete truth. He's telling the marriage counselor what he wants them to know, and not telling the truth, the real story. How do you handle that? Because she said she felt like the marriage counselor seen right through him. So do you do like when you go to a medical doctor, they ask you to do a medical history form. Mm-hmm. So do you ask them questions individually before they go in, so you can get their picture, get the husband's picture and the wife's picture? How does that work?
Most of the time, I will send out a form and have a questionnaire for the couples. 85% of the time, the women completes it. Mm-hmm. And saying that, because I just had a person today that I was talking with, that I was counseling, that we were counseling them for premarital, and her statement was, everything that he was saying in the counseling session was not all true. And I was like, we know. She was like, oh, you saw through it? Mm-hmm. But what did you see? What do you know?
Right.
I think everybody should go to premarital counseling. Mm-hmm. I think that's the greatest thing invented since bread was pre-marriage counseling. I think everybody should go. Linda, you make sure you go for your name.
You know what? So let me give you like we said, we've been married 25 years, but in that something happened and we wound up getting married, and we got married, and then we went on a little quick getaway, and I came back and I was like, I don't think I can do this, right? So the guy that married us, the pastor that married us, we contacted him. So he was like, what? Y'all just not contacting me? Y'all should have talked to me before y'all did this, right? So it was like, this is one of the things we say as counselors. A lot of people wait until they're at that breaking point to go to counseling. You can go to counseling just to keep the spice going, or just to keep, communicating. Right. You don't have to wait until, okay, I'm out the door, you about to get your divorce papers. Y'all expect people to do miracles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already broken a million pieces, and they want you to put it back together. Mm-hmm. I went to marriage counseling once with my husband, and I walked in the door, And the marriage counselor looked at me and she said, Miss Fisher, why are you here? I said, I'm here to work on my. She said, you already through. You already through. I said, okay, well then I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm here because he asked me to give our marriage another chance, and he asked me to come to marriage counseling. But you have to work an absolute miracle, an absolute miracle. Because what people find out, and I used to think my mom and them were crazy with that. Who is people?
Right.
Where he come from?
Right.
Where is this? And where people are not doing that anymore.
Right.
They're just not doing it anymore. And if I had to let my mom them, because this was my first husband, and I was young. I was very, very young, and if I had to let my mom and my dad intervene, then I think it would have. We stayed married a long time. We stayed married 19 years. Have 3 beautiful children. But my youngest son was very, very sick, and that was that was the glue that kept us together, because we were staying together for my son. But I think we need to go back. And Linda and I say this all the time. We need to go back to times haven't changed. People have changed.
Right.
And we need to go back to those old ways. And parents need to meet who you're marrying, need to know who their parents are, need to ask them questions that you're scared to ask. When they say unevenly yoked, that just don't mean spiritually. That means financially, values. It's so many things that you have to be evenly yoked with a person, and you call yourself going to marry them. Yeah. Right. So I think we need to go back and get some of them old ways Mama and them used to do. Mama and them used to do.
I think so too. I think so too. And I'm glad that you said, Rhonda, that I didn't know I thought you went to counseling when you exiting the door. I thought that's when you went. I didn't know that they go to counseling before that time frame to keep everything on the up and up. Because probably if I would have known that, no, it wouldn't happen. I still would have been. I still would have been gone.
And you have to be ready. Let me add it up too.
I had been married before, and I honestly said I was married to a good person. I was a good person, but I wasn't ready to share myself with that person. And I remember just like it was yesterday. It's like a Saturday morning. I woke up and said, "Go find you a good wife, because I'm not her." And they didn't understand what I was saying. I didn't understand why they didn't understand it, but I didn't want to do that. That wasn't for me. And the only reason that I did, quote, get married is because all my friends were married, and I didn't want to be going over to a married woman's house with me being, married as well, which that was dumb. Because like I said, when it's all over with, see you later, bye. So it's just knowing who you are, what you're looking for, and are you willing to fight? And I'm not saying physically, but to fight to keep your marriage for as long as death do you part. So I think at this age, at 65, I honestly can say I'm probably close to being about as ready as I'm possibly gonna get. But God has to send me him. He has to be the one.
Well, that's the start. That's saying that you're ready. There's been plenty of times that you have not said that you're ready.
Right.
So Jason, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's the start, Linda. You ready? And even talking to you many times, you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even when I was with you, you were ready. Listen. So I know the difference. And when I used to tell you, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I ain't going home. You just gonna have to wait till I get there the next day.
That's true. But I didn't Rhonda, I never wanted, I don't know what I never got married because I loved somebody. That was the key.
Wow.
Yeah. I never did that. So when I get married again before I'm 90, I'm gonna love him.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Hey, we
yeah.
need to do a
He gonna
commercial
get
break.
all of this. All of this. He
Oh
gonna get it
God, listen,
all. He
Lord,
gonna,
I'm gonna pray for. We need to do a commercial break right quick, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
All
If you
right.
live in Houston and surrounding areas and are in need of quality childcare, contact Cuckoo's Treasures today. We provide professional childcare in a caring and nurturing environment. Do you work second or third shift or don't have a typical schedule? Cuckoo's Treasures can assist you. We're open 24 hours and some weekends. Give us a call today at 346-313-9064. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Okay,
Yay.
welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody.
wow.
I have a question for Jason. Have you and Rhonda ever conducted a marriage counseling session together?
All our sessions are together.
So do you sometimes find the man trying to get you to see his part and the woman trying to get Rhonda to see her part, or vice versa?
Has to be.
Yeah, they go in wanting to be right. They go in wanting to show, their part of it. And the little secret about counseling is to get these people to listen to what the other one is saying.
Mm.
We you go in and you're thinking, oh, these marriage counselors going to tell us some amazing stuff. No, we just get you to shut up long enough to hear what he's saying, to hear what she's saying, and then you look at each other like, wow.
And you make your decisions.
I didn't know you felt that way. Wow. I didn't know that hurt you that way. Wow. I didn't know that landed for you that way. And because you get into these sparring sessions where we begin to argue, and now we're trying to win. We're not trying to listen. We're not trying to understand. We just want to win the argument. I'm going to win this fight by any means necessary. So when you step into counseling, a lot of times as counselors, our job is just to get you to listen to one another.
Listen to one another.
Get you to hear. They come in with all kind of ammo. They come in, they look bad sometime, and they have all this good stuff ready. And you'd be surprised. You think the men don't want to be there till they get there. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa. They be like, I ain't never heard them talk that much since we've been married. Well, maybe you wasn't listening to them at that time. I don't know, but that's how it sometimes come about. They and those women will tell it.
Yeah.
And our job is not to sell somebody, oh, you need to get a divorce. Oh, you need to stay together. That's not our job. You have to determine what you want from this relationship or from this counseling session.
So JD wants to know, should we do a checklist for love? Should you have like an actual checklist for? I don't know if he means for him to love or a checklist of love.
I think he's talking about something like what he was saying about having,
the standards, meeting his standards, that checklist. Okay. I think that's what you're speaking of, JD. You want to check off what you have,
what your desires are.
Your desires are for that person. I'm feeling that's the question that's that's leading to that.
I think everyone should have a checklist of what they're looking for, but it can't be too superficial. I mean, like you were saying, Jason, I don't want the 6'2", 6'3", dark skin, Idris type. I mean, it should have a lot. The first thing on my list, of course, is you're Christian, you love God, you've been saved. That's the first one on mine because that's who I am. But then also you have to love children, not just because I have a daughter, but because that's my career, that's the business that I'm in. So sometimes if we're together, you're gonna have to be involved in my business. I'm gonna have to send you to store, get some Pampers or something for my babies or whatever.
Right.
So you have to be interested because everybody tells me that children is my love and my passion. Mm-hmm. So it don't have to be your love and your passion, but you have to be interested in children because that's what I do. That's who I am. So everyone should have a checklist, I think.
So what was JD's just had another question. I couldn't see it.
She says never, but they love you badly. But one or the other changes their mind should you kick them to the curb. he/she says never, but they love you badly. But one or the other changes their mind. Should you kick them to the curb?
I'm
Change
assuming
their
you
mind from what?
mind on love.
Do they change their
Right.
mind on love?
What are they changing their mind on?
Are they changing their mind on marriage, or that they don't want to be married now, or are they changing their mind that on love? Can you clarify your answer just a little bit, JD?
Your question.
Your question just a little
Yeah.
bit.
But while we waiting on
And
him,
JD, while we waiting on that, go ahead and put your phone number, your contact information. Maybe we gonna have to find you somebody to love.
That's a good idea.
okay.
But if I don't meet it, should you end a good relationship? Oh no. So he was saying if he doesn't meet the woman's qualifications, should he end a great relationship? Yes, if you think that you can't meet her qualifications or she can't meet your qualifications, then you're wasting your time, I think. So, I mean, what do you think, Jason and Rhonda?
I mean, if it's a great relationship, then how are you not meeting her qualifications?
Absolutely. That's what my mind thought went as well. So if it's great, you're already in there.
Yeah.
And you can't think, okay, I need to meet her qualification in this week or two or a month.
Right.
It takes time.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Work at a relationship. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
People are still building 3 years
25
later.
years later, right? 25
right.
years later.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So
it takes time. It really takes time.
it takes but I think the whole key, and this is what Linda Scott's saying, is that communication.
Yeah.
That communication is the key. And then the second part of it is what Jason stated earlier, was the patience. So if we're communicating, there shouldn't be too big of a gap, because now we both know what's going on. I know what he likes. He knows what I like. So why am I kicking him to the curb, or why is he kicking me to the curb? Because I think in the first month or so, and I don't know how long people date, and then we have to define dating and relationship and marriage and all that stuff. So am I dating you right now? Because if I'm just dating you, that means I could date others. Where are we going with this? Do you want to go somewhere? So the communication key has to be alive.
Especially at our age. Yeah, especially at our age.
Mhm.
You can't. You can't. Yeah.
I see JD also asks about hold on, it was another question he asked. Like, he said he has a crazy one. JD, 1 minute you saying it's a great relationship, then it's a
Next minute you saying you got a crazy one. Is she great or is she crazy?
Yeah,
he says that she wants an executive and he is a blue collar, but what?
But what?
Well, she knows what you are, though, JD. If she knows you're a blue collar and she's accepted you as a blue collar, then there's no kicking to the curb. Now, if she knew you're blue collar and she decided this is not what she wants, then that's something different. But if you're in a relationship with this person and she understands what you do and what you are, and she's accepted that, then, I don't see no reason why you should be talking about, or either one of you should talk about kicking each other to the curb. I mean, you are what you are. I could want a rich wife, but that don't mean I'm gonna kick my wife to the curb because she ain't rich. We just gonna work toward that dynamic.
Richness together. Yeah.
Because I tell them all the time. And we, one of the things we don't discuss, we do not talk about divorce. We don't say those words. But I often tell them, I say, if something ever happened and then we decide to go our own way, I say, I don't feel like going. I'm like you all. I'm like, I ain't even gonna try to go back out there and do all of that. I say, wherever he at, I'm just gonna have to go knock on the door and say, excuse me, I got to come over for a minute. And he was talking about, what if somebody over there? Well, you better make sure they understand how it's gonna go before you get them over there.
So let's answer JD right quick, because we have only 5 minutes left, and then I want you to tell us something about the things that you're going on too. He said people say we are just kicking it, but then feelings come in.
On who's behind though?
Oh,
On your side
If you
or
cook
her
it,
side?
too long, it's gonna come in second gear, my friend.
You just answer that.
But who's the feelings coming in on? Is it on his side or her side? If she
I
made
don't
it known what she wants in a relationship, and you're falling in a way that's a little bit more, then maybe you should step away. But if she's made it known that all she wants to do is be your friend, or this is where you're going to be, this is as far as we're going to go, then you have to make a decision where you want to stay or not.
Right.
But then the kicking it could have been on his behalf. He could have just been saying, "Hey, I want to kick it with her," and then her feelings got in it, and did his feelings come back to be with her? Did they meet up?
Yeah, but there is no marriage because I don't meet the checklist.
But I am good for dating.
So she's giving you already where you stand. That's up to you, JD,
To make that decision.
determine how you want to go. If she's telling you this, the communication is there. She's telling you.
And do you know your worth? Do you know your worth?
That's a good question. So we have 4 minutes left into this wonderful, wonderful segment. So I know you have your tour, your college tour, that I'm definitely going to send my daughter on with her auntie Linda, and and tell us about your marriage soiree.
Well, we do a marriage soiree once a year where it's right now it's just in Palm Beach County, but our goal is to have ambassadors all over. And with that ambassador, they can host it in their city or in state, however they want to do it. But we host it in Palm Beach County right now. And what we do is honor couples, not from our eyesight, but from what the community see or what the community knows about that couple. And we have a big, I would say, gala or award ceremony where we honor those couple that have been outstanding in the community. That's going back to saying showing Black love.
Yeah,
because many people probably say, "Oh, marriage don't work," but because you didn't put the work in, it takes
work. And I really think we need to celebrate marriages more. We really need to celebrate marriages.
We do.
And that's what
and you couples, the two of you are a phenomenal couple that is laying the groundwork for those behind you. That will be me. That are behind you to say, "Hey, this is what I see. I love it, and I love my partner enough to go and say, let's do this." So you're absolutely right, Sharilyn. I'm so glad about that. Can I just attend the Sarah so I could?
Of course.
Okay, good.
I'll let you give out an award if you want to.
Oh yes, I
want to come.
Yes, that would be
awesome.
Listen. Don't get it twisted. We can get an ambassador for Houston.
Okay, so we can. So will the ambassador need to be married?
I would think so. Yes.
Oh, that eliminates us.
That just eliminated us. No, you know what?
But right now,
I'm going to find a married couple who would want to be an ambassador for Houston, and I will help them.
There you have it.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
You know how to do it. You know how to do it.
Right. I follow directions really, really well. So I will find an ambassador and says, "What did you need me to do?"
And you don't have to be married to a 10.
I'm going to attend when she tells you.
So Glenise says, when she tells you what you are to her, believe her. Make your decision on what's best for you. Glenise, thank you. Now that's the word. That's the word. Thanks, Glenise.
Yes.
I am a king. Thanks for the response, all. Good night.
No, you're welcome.
Mr. King.
Thank you for joining us tonight, JD.
King. Yes, Mr. King. But so finish telling us other things that you have going on, Rhonda, because you have a lot. And Dr. Glenise, who just got on, Rhonda, I keep saying that the two of you need to connect.
Oh, y'all sure do. Yes. Y'all need to get together.
Yeah, amazing. And I just talked about you with her Tuesday, I want to say it was. But
okay.
Yeah. I'll forward you her information as well.
But we also do the marriage counseling. Like we said, we don't do marriage counseling where we do it apart. We do it together.
Right.
And we and that's from anywhere because we do it virtually.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, so we have couples from all over.
Great.
Okay, great.
So, but I also, in which my husband has to help if I need him to. I created an organization called Black Women Business Connect, and that is to help empower, enhance Black women that have businesses.
Right.
So with that, I'm trying to do more of a networking. Well, people can network and we can help each other.
Right.
So it's very important to know is by us for us.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do so many things with this. I actually have a Black Women Business Connect cruise coming up in August, where we'll have different speakers. People can bring their products. People can talk, mingle, network. We got to stop thinking that we can do this all by ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what we have going on.
And then you got the cruise. I mean, not the cruise. The children. You said that, right?
The college tour.
The college tour.
That's the one I'm going to send Gabby on with you.
Yeah, that college tour is we've been doing that for many years. So I do all the planning and he do the execution of it on the bus because I be tired. So he kind of be the head of that on the bus. So we just a good team together all around.
The college tour is special. We've been doing it for quite a while now, and we have kids all over the country in school.
Right.
We have them at Tennessee State. We have them at Morehouse. We have them at FAM. We have them at Tuskegee. I mean, we have them at everywhere.
So do you know? Do you have your? Well, of course you do. Your itinerary, the schools that you're attending in March. Where would you be going?
We're going to Howard.
Oh.
Going to the African Museum.
African American Museum.
Is it on here? We're going to the African American Museum. Is this on here? North Carolina A&T.
Okay.
Norfolk State University. I'm looking at my thing. We were going to Virginia State, but they will be on spring break. Oh no, we're not going to New York. So, and we're going to colleges in Atlanta.
Okay. So you just take him right on up to the East Coast. But I am so excited and so happy for you.
And FAMU. And one of the things we're doing with FAMU, we're going to do it on the back end. I usually hit Florida schools first, but we're going to do it on the back end because they're having senior day. And on senior day, a lot of people get scholarships. They don't even get it. I am a Rattler mom. Well, my son graduated from FAM. So I do support FAMU, but I support them all because we even even with Norfolk, Virginia, we have we love they give scholarships on the spot. Yeah. They give scholarships on the spot.
Yeah, we have 2 at Norfolk State. On North Carolina A&T, I think we have 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Wow. We have a lot of grown ones now.
We're over our time. Every week we go over our time because it gets gooder and gooder. So we're over our time. We have your information on how to reach you.
Yes.
The Golden Podcast has a Facebook page. I'm going to go in. I'm going to put all your information on our Facebook page. So if anybody want to contact you, the information will be out there. And give us the price of that tour again, that historical tour again.
That tour is from Saturday to Saturday, and it's $725.
Okay.
Are you full already?
A day.
No, we still have a couple slots.
Okay. All right. Yes. So, and Rhonda, what's the phone number that they can reach you if they, some people want to call?
561.
Yes.
706-6332.
Okay. So you all heard it from Jason and Rhonda Turner tonight. The couple, I ain't gonna say experts, but to me they are the experts. So but it's been a great night. I've learned a lot. And Jason, thanks for the P word because I never had it in my head. So I'm gonna have some patience, and I'm gonna have a husband in some years now, but I'm gonna have one. How about that?
I'm gonna give you this advice, Linda. As you practice that patience, it's like the powder in the clay. As you practice that patience, you're constantly molding it. And as you continue to practice that patience, you continue to mold it. And as you look around that finished product, when you hold them up, you realize all that patience paid off until what I got here. This masterpiece. You know, now he's gonna have some cracks in it because you dropped him a few times. you dropped him a few times. You kicked him and bowled him a few times, but it's your masterpiece. It's what you want in a husband and a mate. And like you said, we're never perfect, but we understand each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. It's been a great show, y'all. The clock on the wall said we gotta go.
Yeah,
but
thank you so much.
And thank y'all for joining us and
the
information that you all have given to our viewers and us is everything. So you guys know how to reach them.
I'm gonna put it on our Facebook page.
Don't hesitate. Give them a holler and call Sharilyn and myself if you need to reach out and don't see some information. So at this time, we'd like to say thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.
Good night.